Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, I'm going to be doing a live stream review and a big thank you. And yesterday, I kind of had a small bout of depression because I figured wasn't going to get any higher than 396 because it's been at 396 for over 2 weeks, I believe. Subscribers, that is. And last night, after I went to bed, I had still 396. And I wake up and I hit my 400 milestone subscriber milestone. Sorry, I'm still a little tired. But basically, I'm going to be reviewing Constantine. And before I do want to give a big loving shout out to every one of my 400 subscribers. If I knew you all by name, I would give each and every one of you a shout out. Because you guys got me this far. And if I get 100 more, this comes off. So get me to 500 and I'll show you why I wear the hat. And it is a bit embarrassing, so it's always good to have a little fun, you know? Anyway, on to the review. The review is of the Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves. And I honestly, objectively, the movie does not pass. Subjectively, it passes in my book. Moviegoer, it definitely passes. I've always been a fan of movies that have demons, devil stuff, exorcisms, and whatnot. I've always been a fan of that stuff. And this movie was no exception. It basically shows the ultimate battle between good and evil. The casting for this movie was very good. They had Peter Stormare as Lucifer. They had Tilda Swinton as a gender-bent Gabriel. But you know what? She did a wonderful job, and they didn't make it about a gender thing. They just cast her as Gabriel. Gabriel the Archangel. And Gabriel is most notably a man or a male archangel. Now, they also had Rachel Weisz, who plays two people in this movie. She actually plays identical twins. She plays Isabel Dotson and Angela Dotson. Angela Dotson is a detective, while her sister Isabel was a mental patient. And the movie starts out with Isabel Dotson, or actually it starts out in Mexico, where these two scavenger guys find, or one of them finds a Nazi flag, and inside of it is the Spear of Longinus, also known as the Spear of Destiny. He then starts hearing hell speak, which is the voices, or which is the spoken language in hell that you hear, the whispers. And so he's automatically put under a trance once he touches the spear itself. And as he's walking by, he gets hit by a car, or a car that's going so fast it literally caves to him or around him. And I'm like, what? When I first saw this movie, I'm like, what just happened? But then this guy, you hear the voices and you see him clutching the spear tip still, and he then runs off afterward. And that's the start of the movie. So it's like, okay, this is what, that's going to confuse a couple people here and there. But for the most part, if you've seen the trailers before you've seen the movie, you'd know that this is, or you have a sense of what's going on. Now, It then goes to a mental care or a mental patient, or no, actually, it goes to I believe, Rachel. Rachel Weisz's character, the police officer one, where she's taking confession, and that she feels that she is possibly damned because she's psychic. She has innate psychic abilities. Now it comes out later that she was actually very powerful, but she rejected her gift to the point where it went almost completely gone, but she still has a semi precognition of a sixth sense that helps her in her job as a detective. So as she goes to sleep, you see Rachel Weisz again in a different thing, which Isabel. She starts hearing voices. She feels a mark on her arm, which plays a part later on in the movie. And she runs out, kills herself. And this is a continuity issue because if you see they show the surveillance footage of this character killing herself. Now, the original scene shows her stepping back with her arms out off a roof. And she crashes through a glass ceiling and then into a pool. That's when her sister wakes up, and it's like, okay, did she just have a very bad dream, or what's going on? So you find out that, or you also then get introduced to John Constantine, who's doing an exorcism for a soldier demon who's inside of a little girl. And you're introduced to Keanu Reeves and Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's character is pretty interesting in this movie. He's basically the apprentice of John Constantine. I thought the casting was very well done. And, I mean, while I'm not a big, humongous fan of Shia LaBeouf, there are some things I do like him in, and there are things that I don't like him in. This movie was one movie that I actually did like Shia LaBeouf's character in. I mean, he plays Chaz Kramer. It's Kramer. Chaz Kramer, asshole. He's basically copying Constantine and whatnot. And his character is pretty interesting. He really steps up near the end. And one thing that I did like about the movie is I seen the deleted scenes, and there's a deleted scene that's an alternate ending to this movie. We're going to be talking spoilers, folks. And the deleted scene is where Rachel Weisz's character Angela is with Constantine at the cemetery, and he's like, "You did good, kid," because Chaz's character dies, or Shia LaBeouf's character dies near the end during the climax of the movie. And you see wings sprout behind Constantine, and then you see that Chaz has actually been gifted to be an archangel, or a half-breed, as they call him in the movies. Now, or in this movie. One of the now I'm going to start going objective here. This movie, like I said, it does not get a pass. Objectively, this movie is 3 out of 5. It does not get a pass. That's 6 out of 10, or 60 out of 100 if you go by school grade. 65 is a passing grade. This movie falls just short of a pass. And, oh, thank you, Riot. And how you doing, sir? Thank you to both of you guys for stopping by. But yeah, the objective review, some of the special effects were not done well. Some of the digital effects were not done well. Other special effects were, but some were not. Now, the hellscape I thought that was beautifully done. It kind of shows that the whole place is on fire, and it's just a massive heat wave going wherever you are in hell. They show the torments of hell. I like how the demons only have like half of a face, so everything above here is just gone. And what they don't really cover in this movie, when it comes to the story, I should clarify, there is a couple of deleted scenes where John is with a demon, a female demon. One scene, he's actually just getting done fucking her, basically, having sex with her. And he's asking her for information and whatnot, and they cut that one out. This is after he realizes he has lung cancer from smoking. Then there's a scene at Papa Midnight's, which is extended in the deleted scene areas, where she sees him again, and it's basically the same thing, asking for information and whatnot. And they all say, or in those scenes, it's basically the same dialogue. You are the one soul that Satan himself would come up to collect, or Lucifer himself would come up to collect. Because John Constantine, as a kid, killed himself to try to escape the torment of what he was seeing. That sounds like a D&D campaign I had, LOL, with the deleted scenes. Yeah, basically. Now, there's 2 times where they say that Lucifer, or John, is the only soul that Lucifer would come up to collect in the movie itself. One is with Papa Midnight's character, Digimon Husao. I do not know if I pronounced that correctly. I always get it wrong. I'm going to have to find out how it's pronounced. But anyway, his character has sworn the oath of neutrality. He takes no sides with heaven or hell, basically. And if the scales are tipped if the balance isn't maintained, that's when he steps in to either hell or heaven's side. But as long as the balance is maintained, he won't step in. Now, Constantine has found some odd soul traffic. An actual demon tried to come out through a little girl, and another demon attacks him. Full-fledged demons that are not allowed on Earth. But when he goes to Midnight, Midnight reminds him of the rules and of the balance, and it's like, somebody's not playing by the rules. We all know this, but Midnight's still ignorant to it. And then you see another character who you only get a glimpse of earlier after the first exorcism is done, of Balthazar, who's flipping his coin. I'll show you basically, or kind of, can't really do it very well, but kind of flips it over each finger and rolls it over the fingers, basically. Now, one of the, then his character is introduced. And Balthazar he's a demonic half-breed. So the way that you can tell the difference between angel half-breeds and demonic half-breeds is their eyes give off a glow. If it's yellow or greenish or lightish, really light color, it's an angelic half-breed. If it's a demonic half-breed, they give off a red glow. Now, that is also an interesting detail because they paid attention to detail. They show that, or they established that you can tell the difference between which is which. And it's pretty cool. Now, Tilda Swinton as Gabriel. As we know, Gabriel is gender bent in this movie, but it's not woke this movie is not woke in any shape, way, or form. I mean, if it was made today, you might see, or a couple of people might say, yeah, this is a woke moment. That's maybe a woke moment. But no, the movie's not woke because they weren't focusing on that stuff when this movie was made. And One of the things that I also didn't like was the continuity, and that is also what causes this movie to fail. Because I think I explained it earlier, where Isabel's character jumps off a roof or commits suicide. Rachel Weisz's character, Isabel, because she plays two, Isabel and Angela, the twins. And in the actual scene, she puts her arms out, steps off the roof backward, and dies after she hits or when she finishes her fall, shall we say. Now, if you look at the surveillance, it's different. She just jumps and twists like that until she goes with her arms outstretched and whatnot. So that is a big continuity error that they often make when you see movies with surveillance footage. You usually see these continuity mistakes that they make because when they do that, they shoot those scenes separately. They don't shoot the scenes at the same time. So, yeah, in a way, that cuts the objective score down. Other than that, the subjective, I liked the movie. The movie is a 4 out of 5 with me. There are a couple things that I didn't like. Mainly, Balthasar's character is just too smarmy, but then again, he is a demon. I just didn't sit right with me. It could have been done a little bit better. I like how he gets his comeuppance, where Mammon, or where the shadow of Mammon actually just deatomizes him or blows him into dust. There are other things that are very good. I like how, or the one of the things I don't like. I'll get to the other things I do like, but one of the things I didn't like was some of the very shoddy special effects shots. The Demon on Figueroa, I mean, I understand this movie was done earlier, like early 2000s, but this movie could have been a little bit better with touched up effects later on, a revisit to have it done better. Now, one of them is basically when the guy who's carrying the spear walks along a bunch of beasts of burden that are around, and they just keep on dying. And that digital shot was not done well. You had some shoddy green screen and blue screen. That wasn't done well. So those are the things that really take away from the movie. I mean, if you know that the background is fake, it's like, yeah, you might want to work on that a little bit better. But even nowadays, you could still tell. So green screen and blue screen are not going to be perfect ever, in my opinion. So it's better to do as much as you can when you're on set and on location, because otherwise the lighting will betray you every time when it comes to green screen and blue screen. You're not going to be able to light the scenes or the characters correctly. That's just the way it is. It's very hard to get that right when you're going on blue screen and green screen. Now, there are a couple things that they could do a little bit better, or could do a little bit worse, actually. The makeup for the demonically possessed, where they kind of just have a swollen forehead, no eyebrows, and the veins that crawl, or the creeping veins, those was good. Those were good. I ramble a little bit, folks, and sometimes I'll contradict myself. Sorry about that. Now, where the physical makeup that changes that they make for people, and it looks like I might have a slip, or I'm stuttering a little bit because of poor internet stuff. Sorry about that, folks. But the makeup effects are very good when it shows that a person is possessed. And I just noticed another lag. So let's see if the internet still is working. Yep, it is. Okay, so yeah, the makeup effects were very well done. A couple of things could have been better. The Balthazar, where half his face has been peeled off due to enchant or divine weapons being used against him, and holy water. It's like the digital effects where it melts away is good, but the mask effects that they put on the actor, yeah, it didn't match very well. But other than that, it can be overlooked. The digital effects of his disembodied or his scattered face was also not very well done, but you know, limited digital effects and whatnot. Subjectively, though, the story is good. The story is compelling. How you doing, Keely? Thank you for stopping by. Now, as I was saying, the story is compelling. It kept me engaged. I honestly, when I first saw this movie, I couldn't predict where it was going. And if I can't predict where a movie is going, subjectively, it's going to get a very high score. However, if there are some things that take away from it, it won't take too much. But this movie, I couldn't predict where it was going when I first seen it. And I first saw it like 6 or 8 years ago. Now, I think it was like more like 10 years ago. Anywho, I'm doing very good, Keely. I'm just doing a live stream. I reached 400 subs, and I'm doing a review for Constantine. Now, subjectively, Constantine is good, like I was saying. I really like, or I honestly do like the twist of how Gabriel, the angel. Thank you, Keely. You need to celebrate by going to Waffle House. If there was a Waffle House in my area, I would. I live up in the Adirondacks. The only real branching restaurant in my area, in my town, is a Little Italy. And right now, well, we're all shut down. So, yeah. But, yeah. Gabriel, or the twist of Gabriel assisting Hell because she feels that too many people are worthy of God's forgiveness. So she's willing to introduce a reign of hell on earth to ensure that people are worthy of his love and his forgiveness so that they are allowed into the kingdom of heaven. And when he finally does the summoning chant and calls or forces her to come down, nice or good to hear, Sphere. That is awesome that your town is opened up fully. And I hope that it doesn't create a surge of COVIDs, but there is a chance that we are going to see it if people are not responsible. Because when they open up here, we're still going to have social distancing guidelines and whatnot. We're not just going to open up and go willy-nilly. But yeah. Now back to the review. When two of Constantine's friends have been killed because Hell does not want Constantine getting a whiff of what's going on, but they still left him messages and still left clues. So it's good that he picks up on them, and he realizes that, or you also find out so many things like Bibles, or there are Bibles in hell, and Corinthians goes to 21 acts instead of 16 acts, I believe. Salons are open back up. That's about it. And now I have to wear a mask at work, at the hardware store, and Walmart. Yeah, masks are, what's the word? They're compulsory here as well. If you don't wear a mask here, you're not going into most stores. So it does suck. But you do what you got to do to be able to get what you got to get, you know? And stay safe too. So yes, definitely everybody who are in the chat, please stay safe during this time. Now, so Rachel Weisz's character has to reignite her psychic talent because she was a twin with a psychic, so they're both psychics basically. And she abandoned her sister at a young age when they started putting her on stuff, or her sister on meds, and she's basically, or and she explains it to John where she lied and abandoned her sister to her sister's depression and whatnot, and it put her in psych hospitals, and that's what led to her inevitable death because she couldn't stop seeing them. So when she gets fully submerged so she can see hell and reawaken her psychic abilities, she finds out that Balthazar has been pulling strings and killing Constantine's friends. So Constantine goes to Midnight, and he finally proves that, or convinces Midnight to help him, because he's like, Beeman and Hennessy were your friends too, and while you're imitating Switzerland, people are dying. And he then convinces Midnight to help him, and he uses a chair, or as they call it, the chair, to basically shock him into seeing psychic visions, or as they call it, surfing. Psychic surfing. Because the character, or Angela's character, gets pulled out of a building by a demon that's invisible, but I'm actually willing to believe it wasn't a demon that pulls her out. It's Gabriel, if you look at it in hindsight. But anyway, they bring her to the hospital where her sister died, and comment. Thank you, Chris. I am working on it. I'm doing my best. Like I said, folks, if I get to 500 subscribers by the end of May, I'll whip this sucker off and show you why I wear the hat. Believe me, it's embarrassing it's an embarrassing thing, but I'm willing to do it if you guys get me to 500 by the end of this month. So you got till my father's birthday, May 31st. Anyway, back to the review, or review and discussion, basically is what we're doing because we are covering the story. So they find out that a bunch of demonic half-breeds are there. What are you going to do? I'm going to take off my hat and show everybody why I wear it. It's going to be a live stream, so I'm going to have as many people as possible to do it. And believe me, I keep this hat on for a reason. And it's not exactly a very flattering or let's just say that without this hat, it's not very flattering. And that's all I'm going to say. So if you guys really want to understand the story, get me to 500. So yeah, get me to 500. I'll whip this sucker off, and I'll show you close up why I wear the hat. Now, as I was saying, they get her to the hospital, and the guy with the Spear of Destiny is there to possess her and get her ready for the son of the devil to possess him, or her. I could someday reveal why I wear glasses so much. I'm guessing it's poor eyesight. But yeah. So she gets possessed finally by Mammon, and Constantine and Chaz, played by Shia LaBeouf, go in. Might be. You never know, Miria. It might, or Sphere. It might be. You never know. You'll have to see, or you'll have to help me get to 500 subs. Get my channel's content out there, share, and all that stuff. I do the same. Get me to 500 subs before May 31st. You do that on June 1st, I will do or actually, if I reach 500 subs before the end of May, I will do it on my father's birthday, which is May 31st. I will show everybody why I wear the hat. And it's a little tender up there too right now, so. But anyway, The twist of Gabriel assisting Hell is interesting, and you see that Shia LaBeouf's character comes into his own at the end, and John is still struggling with the cancer in his body, which is racking him with pain and whatnot. So when Chaz helps step in, he's able to push the Devil's Son back down. But then when Chaz gets killed by an invisible enemy, he manages or he's got the Johnny Bravo throw. Like I said, get me to 500. But he does the summoning spell, Into the Light I Command Thee, with his arms, and Gabriel comes down. Now, John basically has a choice after Gabriel throws him out of the room. This is where he finally pleads or gives a plea to God. I know I'm not one of your favorites. I'm not even welcome in your house, but right now I could use a little attention. And so he then does what nobody would expect him to do. He slits his wrists again, because originally John Constantine, when he was a younger kid, slit his wrists, and he spent 2 minutes, or he was dead for 2 minutes, but 2 minutes in hell is like a lifetime. Time stops in hell and heaven. And according to their logic. So Lucifer, or time stops, they show the time stopping, and Lucifer comes down to talk to John. He's like, you are the one soul I would come up here myself to collect. And you hear John, or you hear this a second time. That was the second time you hear it in the movie. But deleted scenes also, you hear that from a female demon, or a female half-breed demon that he's having sex with. So the other scene, or the other one, was when he first went to Papa Midnight. And he's like, you are the one soul he would come up here himself to collect. He's like, so I've heard. And a friend just messaged me, so sorry. I just paused on that. Yeah, so Lucifer's there, and he's like, I didn't think you'd make the same mistake twice, but you didn't, did you? And so Constantine fools him. This is the great thing about Constantine. He actually he suckers the devil. He convinces the devil to stop the end of the world, because the devil wants the world. He doesn't want his son to have it. It just goes to show you that everything in hell is it's sinful for a reason. And gluttony and ambitions are very high down there. So Lucifer realizes that Gabriel is about to unleash his son, pulls him out. Peter Stormare plays a great freaking devil. I gotta say, Peter Stormare is one hell of an actor. He has range in all sorts of ways. And he plays a Russian very well. He plays a henchman pretty well. He plays the devil pretty well. Peter Stormare has great range. So when he pulls out, he's like, this world is mine in time. And you, best of all of us, Gabriel, should understand ambition. So that basically tells you that Gabriel herself might have, in this movie, it's a she, played by Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton is a great actress. Regardless of what many people say, she is a great actress, in my opinion. She has range as well. I mean, I liked her as the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. Even though the Ancient One was gender bent, yes, I still think that she was a good character. Or she did a good portrayal as the Ancient One. Did I freeze? I think I did. Am I still frozen, folks? I think so. Okay, we're unfrozen. Sorry about that. I think we were frozen. because my scroll stopped scrolling. Anyway, Kamen Rider, thank you. Like I said, to those just joining, happy, good to see you as well. All right, thanks, guys. Now, back to the review. Lucifer is tricked by Constantine to basically save the world. Okay, so I didn't freeze. Thank you, guys. And, yeah, I'm frozen or lagged for me and all orange. Thank you, Riot. It's just that the scroll down at the bottom of the screen here stopped scrolling, and I was starting to freeze on my end, I guess. But anyway, he sends his son back down to hell, and also when Gabriel tries to smite him, in her words, not mine, he's able to repel her. And he's like, somebody doesn't have your back anymore. And so he unleashes his powers against her, burns her wings off and casts her into a pool, which was pretty cool. And so this is where John's actions really show that he's grown up. He's figured it out. He's like, so Lucifer's like, so what do you want? An extension, basically to keep him alive for longer. And Constantine decides to go full sacrificial. The sister, Isabel, let her go home. And he's like, you're willing to give up your life so she can go to heaven? And he's like, mm. And so he's like, all right, fine, time to go home. And he starts dragging him, and then he realizes he can't because John suddenly starts weighing like 1,000,000 pounds. And then Lucifer just puts it together once the kingdom of heaven reveals itself to him. He's like, no, this one belongs to me. And Constantine, in true asshole fashion, just flips him off. He's like, yep, fuck you, buddy. And he's like, no, you're going to live so you can prove that your soul truly belongs in hell. And then he reaches inside Constantine, just rips out the cancer from his lungs. I don't know about you, but I thought that was done very well to express that. To have that kind of stuff done is very agonizing. And he's like, oh, you will live. So everybody wakes up. He goes over to Angela, Rachel Weisz's character, and that's when Gabriel pops up again. And John's like, you don't deserve to be human. So she gives him his gun. She's like, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me. She just wants to die. And so you'd think that John would do it, right? Nope. He just punches her instead. That's called pain. Get used to it. So, yeah. The movie then ends after he gives Rachel Weisz's character the spear. It's a very good movie. And then they actually do a post-credit scene, which I didn't notice when I actually owned the DVD. The post-credit scene is the scene, it's the alternate ending, but cleverly cut to take out Rachel Weisz's character. Because in that scene, she is there when Constantine is at the graveyard laying down his letter on Chaz Kramer's grave. Chaz Kramer comes down as an archangel or a half-breed, takes the lighter, gives him a smirk, flies up. And you see John happy about it too. And it's a great little moment, I honestly thought. So, yeah, this movie, if you guys like angels and demons kind of movies, this is definitely a movie for you. And like I said, so objectively, without bias, this movie fails because of the flaws and the inconsistencies. Subjectively, I liked it. I really did. Now, moviegoer, if you like these movies, it's a 5 out of, or these kind of movies, it's a 5 out of 5. It's a comic movie as well for those of you who like comics. I mean, John Constantine is in DC Comics. And I like this version of Constantine better than I like the freaking Legends of Tomorrow Constantine. And it's like, I just like this one better, you know? And they didn't have any woke moments. I mean, if this movie, like I said earlier, was made today, there are a couple things that people would mistake it as woke. Gender bent Gabriel, and where get the car. Wait here, men. Hey, I'm back. All right, thank God. Okay, is it going to stop flickering? Anyway, the movie does have a couple moments in there that might be considered woke nowadays, but this movie had no outside agenda at all. And I gotta say that is what I enjoy from older movies. Yeah, you guys lost me for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I am back. I'm back. I'm back. Anyway, am I for okay? I'm back. I'm gonna turn my volume down to make sure that I do not have any problems. Sorry about that. It does look like I am frozen. It's freezing up a little bit. Anywho, I'm gonna hold my phone over to this side. And it does look like I do have a slight choppiness to it. Sorry about that, folks. Anyway. Yeah, okay, good. We're good. I am going to start wrapping it up here. I just want to say thank you that's the review. And I do want to give a big thank you to every one of my subscribers. Riot Kitty, Mary Sphere, Happy Dino. Who else was in here? Real Review 3000, Chris Knight. Thank you for stopping by. Keely Chow. And every other one of my subscribers. Thank you all for helping me get this far. I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers eventually. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get there by the end of the year. I mean, that's my goal. But if I don't, you know what? There's always next year. But if you guys get me to 500 by the end of May, get me to 500 by the end of May, and I will whip this hat off on a live stream to show you just why I have this hat on. And it's not pretty. But yeah. Anyway, folks, I do want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I am truly humbled by you guys getting me to 400 overnight like you did. Thank you very much. And also, before everybody goes and before I end, I'm going to, today is, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. I forgot what day it is. But anyway, Friday, the 8th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got my next Versus stream coming up. And it's going to be Xenomorph Army versus EU Mandalorian Army. So if you guys want to watch the first live stream that does more than one-on-one, this is the one to watch, because I don't know when I'll do another arming like that again, because the 1-2 weeks from Friday is going to be Darth Sidious versus Darth Vitiate, the two Sith Emperors clashing one-on-one to see who's the ultimate victor. Now, anyway, folks, this Friday I got OG Star Wars, Ryan Kinnell, the Ambassador, Darth Annihilus, and another guy, I believe his name is Rogue Cast. Let me check. He's definitely, or I just started following him. I heard that he wanted to be on this one, so yeah. Rogue Cast is his name. And that will be 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. For my Australian friends, it's going to be around morning to midday for you guys on Saturday. So yeah, stay tuned, folks. Hope you all enjoyed it. And for those catching this in the replay, you all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to leave your congratulations down there if you can. And keep supporting my channel however you see fit. Anyway, folks, let me know what you guys also thought of the movie Constantine. If you have seen it, did you like it? Did you not like it? What parts did you like? What parts didn't you like? All that jazz, you know? Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews, and I will catch you all on the next one. And until then, stay humble. And dang it.